Hello everybody, LadyLibertyStacker. Today is an early morning sometime in November 2019, and I'm going to show you from start to finish what's involved with using your cast iron for a typical breakfast. Today I'm going to make scrambled eggs, kind of messy eggs because I have a little bit of eggs I'm going to mix up. I have some soy milk that's going to go, a little bit of soy milk. You can use regular milk, skim milk, whatever you want. We happen to drink soy milk, organic. So there it is. Then we have some chopped onion, red onion. You can use yellow onion. I just happen to use what's on hand. Green pepper. You could use red pepper, but I have the green pepper on hand. Chopped, meat. This is turkey. You could use ham. What have you, and then this is shredded cheese. It could be any flavor of cheese that you want, and of course I'm going to mix it with some toast and so forth. But what I'm actually using, I'm letting this warm up on the stove. I mentioned this in my last video. This is a number 7 small logo Griswold. I can pick it up because it's not heated yet. There is a small logo, and there is some of the crud on the bottom that I could not remove. If I had to go at it again, I might be able to get it off. Just going back and forth between vinegar and lye. Lye to soften, vinegar to remove, and over and over and over again until I get it to where I like. It's possible that I could do that. But sometimes it's just not going to release. But, this pan is my number 1 cooker for omelets and eggs. It is totally nonstick. It's not like a chef's skillet with sloped sidewalls. I would love to have one of those, but actually this one does a very, very nice job. My number 7 Griswold, and you can see the nice smooth surface, and the sidewalls are not too thick and they're not too thin. You want it thick enough where it holds the heat when the eggs are done or your meal is done, when you're trying to get other things ready for your meal. But I'm letting it warm up on the burner here. I just set it up, so it's probably going to be about 4 minutes until it's going to be warm enough to cook with. And here, I'm wearing my GoPro now, so I really can't show you, but there I have it slightly under medium. You don't really need it. You don't have to blast the heat to make eggs. So, but anyways, what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to go ahead and remove a whisk, and we're going to go ahead and mix the eggs, just 2 eggs. Use any kind you want. I like organic or farm raised. I like the brown eggs. They just seem to have a perception of healthier. Whether or not that's true, that's here nor there. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of the milk in there, just to give it a little bit of volume. I do that. It just gives you a little bit more content. So I'm going to continue letting it warm up. Just wanted to show you the ingredients, and I'm going to put some pepper on it when I'm all done, and some butter and jelly on my toast. But the reason I'm making this video is somebody had said, what do you do with your skillet when you're done cooking with it? That's kind of a crazy question. I just usually set it over there on the part of the stove right here that is not hot to cool off. Sometimes if it's really messy, I soak it with water, and you can do that. As long as you don't do it longer than, I've done it probably, I've cheated. One time I did it overnight, but it was a very well-seasoned pan. But don't do that. Just do it for as long as necessary to get the loose pieces of, or to get the food to unstick from your skillet. I usually do it, soak it while I'm eating the meal, and then come back and then wash the pan out the way I'm going to show you this time. So I will be back here. The pan is not warm enough, and then we'll go ahead and make our eggs, and then we'll go. Okay, guys, we're ready. The skillet is actually warmed up now, so we're just going to spray our organic non-cooking oil spray into the pan, and we're going to go ahead and do the vegetables. Go ahead and let them cook for a couple of minutes until they get soft. I'm using my spatula. This is a Pampered Chef that I've had for years. These are a bit heat resistant, and when you buy the cheap spatulas, a lot of times they fall apart, but I went to Pampered Chef parties back in the day. If you're a guy, you probably did not go to a Pampered Chef party. But they had some great cookware, so I did take advantage of that. And you could probably get some cookware spatulas and things like that that are heat resistant. Actually, they offer them, it's pretty widespread now. You can see them at Target or even Walmart and areas like that. But just make sure they're good quality construction. You don't want them falling apart on you or snapping. I had one that I bought. It was a silicone. It had a black handle, and it just snapped on me one day. It's like, whoa. Anyway, we're just going to go ahead and cook this. And this is nice with the skillet. You can do that, and it doesn't really sacrifice the nonstick properties of the skillet by doing it. It's still cool enough for the touch here. And as longer you cook, you can turn down the heat as well. You don't really need it really, really hot. And as I get those going here, I like a little bit of crunch in my eggs. Again, you don't have to make your eggs this way. It's just what I want today. Want to add a little vegetables to it. So we're going to put some turkey in there. Cut up turkey. I had to get rid of my turkey. Once meat is close to expiring. And with meat, you want to use it up close to the expiration date. Once it's been open, no more than 5 days in the fridge, or else it gets pretty rancid. So I'm going to go ahead and let this cook for a little bit. Just brown the meat just a tad. And I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back. Our vegetables are pretty much done, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add the egg. And I have my toaster all set with the toast, and if it pops up, if it's done early, I have a reheat button. I have a, what kind of toaster is it? Oh, it's a Cuisinart. And I love those things. It has a reheat button, so I can simply reheat it. I'm going to go ahead and set that down. And we're going to be adding the cheese. Pretty soon we're going to let it set up a little bit. We're going to kind of make it like an omelet. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit because it's getting pretty warm. You can see there, just enough to get the eggs to cook through evenly. And we're going to go ahead and add the cheese. And this is sharp American. It melts really, really easily. It's, there we go. I'm going to go ahead, and you can see how nice and non-stick. You just don't want the eggs to cook too much on the other side. Look at that. This is a beautiful pan for this. I'm going to turn it down even more. You can see here is just, I try to get them, I like them a little bit wet. I don't like real dry eggs, but I like them a little bit wet and moist. Everybody has their own preferences. But it's going to be a little sticky, as we can see. There, I think that's good. Doesn't take long to cook scrambled eggs if you've allowed adequate time for your skillet to heat up. And it still can, I turned off the burner, it still continues to cook. Set those to the side. We're going to grab our plate here. And I'm going to go ahead and put my oven mitt on. I'm going to go ahead and slide it out of the skillet. Look at that, how nice that is. I'm going to fix my toast. But the purpose of this isn't necessarily the recipe. You can do whatever you want. But the skillet is somewhat messy. So I tell you what we're going to do. We are at this point in time, I'm going to take it over to the sink. And I'm going to run some tap water here. So I get it warm. And believe it or not, I'm going to go ahead and soak this pan with some water just to loosen up the food so we can clean it. You can see it's still warming. You can see the bubbles dancing in there. But you don't want to add cold water to a warm skillet. You don't want to do that. So we're going to go ahead. Okay, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and just let it soak. Just go ahead and put it down. And let it soak for about 10 minutes or so while I enjoy my breakfast. Yep, you can do this. Just don't do it for a long period of time. Okay, so there it is. It's going to soak as I make my breakfast. Here's the toast. I'm going to go ahead and pop it down, put the reheat button on. And when I'm all set, I'm over here again. I'm going to go ahead and add some pepper to my eggs. I should get ground pepper, but haven't done that as of yet. Okay, had to put that away. And what we're going to do is we're just going to have some toast here. And anyway, there's my toast. It pops back out of the toaster when it's reheated. I'm going to add some butter and jelly to that, and I like Smucker's. It's very good, and Land O'Lakes butter. I'm going to enjoy my breakfast, and I will be back to show you cleaning it. Okay, guys, I'm back, and I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, actually this pan is cooled off, and we'll go ahead and start our water here. I'm using a Scotch Brite non-abrasive. It's a zigzag design, and I use this also occasionally on stripping cast iron, but I actually prefer the SOS or the Brillo pads for that. For this, just cleaning, this isn't adequate to get it out. So we're going to go ahead and dip out the water. It's actually long enough. It's been a little over 10 minutes. I had some other things I had to do. But we're going to go ahead and just everything cleans up so beautifully this way. No worries, guys. If you forget to soak it right away, you can always soak it later. Again, give it about 10 minutes or so. Lukewarm water. I mean, the skillet won't be cold, but you don't want to put hot water in a cold skillet. Like, you know, you don't want to do that either. You want to try to match the temperature of the water with the skillet. So again, you know, maybe food got stuck on the bottom, you don't know, but just want to make sure that you run your fingers over it to see if there's anything sticking. In this case, there is not. So I'm going to go ahead and wipe it down with a clean cotton dish towel. You can use a paper towel if you want to. If they're smooth enough, nothing will stick. So just go drying it out. Some people may think, gee, you don't use soap. Well, you can use soap. Oop, there's a little bit that's stuck. Didn't see it. So we're going to go ahead and rinse that out. You don't want to have any food left, though, when you wash your skillet, because it will bake on as you do a mini seasoning, and you don't want that. That's what causes all this crap that won't come off. And a lot of people, as I was saying before with soap, they go, oh, gosh, you can't use soap. Well, actually, when you heat up the pan warm enough to dry it off on the stove and to give it a mini re-seasoning, there we go. You can see there how everything looks just fine. There's something there. I got it off. Okay, we're going to take it over here under the light and examine it. And it looks like I got everything off. We're going to grab the towel. We haven't heated the burner up yet, but we're going to heat up the burner. And I'm going to put it on to medium now, medium heat. I'm going to let it warm up for about 2 minutes, and I will set my timer. And I go ahead and do that now. Set my timer when it goes off, because sometimes I've forgotten. I left a skillet one time on the stove for an hour. And thank God it didn't cause any damage. It was either a Wagner or a Griswold, and there's really no damage. It did start to strip off some of the seasoning when you do that. Heat, you know, that's why self-clean ovens work so well. It will strip off the seasoning if you do that. But I wouldn't recommend it in a pan like this. So we're going to go ahead and let the timer run its course at 2 minutes, and I will be back to show you, you know, what I do on mini seasoning this skillet. But that's how you do to clean it. You heat it up, and the heat will you know, cause any germs to, will disinfect for any germs and that kind of thing. All right, I will be back. Okay, guys, I am back. The timer went off. So I am going to go ahead and give this guy a mini seasoning. I forgot my, here we go, my gripper. I like to do that. I like to do the handle first. And I give it a mini seasoning, and that's how you can get these pans to, you don't want that much, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Actually, it's not quite, the handle isn't quite warm enough yet. Okay. I'm going to let it continue to heat. I'm going to go ahead and wipe that out. So you wipe it on with your cotton rag, and you wipe it off with your shop towels, lint-free shop towels. Wasn't quite warm enough yet to do that. Sometimes you can let it go a little bit longer, even 3 to 4 minutes. But I got a lot to do today, so I'm kind of cheating. But I want to give you guys how to do this video. And that should be warm enough. So what we're going to do is we're going to go, and the reason why I do the handle first is a lot of times you need to grab the handle when you do the rest of this. And if it's warm enough, you'll put your oven, or you'll put your handle mitt on. And just doing a thin layer. This is how you can keep your pans getting better and better and better over time. You want to make sure you cover everything. Nice thin coating. And I do the sidewalls, the top of the sidewalls, the pour spouts. This will keep your stuff looking absolutely fantastic. And I fold this over. I take 2 sheets, fold them over, and it lasts quite a while. Now, during a regular seasoning, you'll probably go through these 2 sheets. But it'll actually last probably half a week to a week, you know, if I just rotate them. And that's how you get the maximum use out of your towels. All right, that one is done. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over carefully. Got a glass stove top. So you just want to do the same thing. I do the underneath too. I do the whole thing. Do the side walls. You want them to get nice and dark. And go ahead and put it down. I'm going to do the grooved handle. This is one of the earlier small logo Griswolds with this ribbed handle. Didn't flatten out and didn't have the center part that flattens out. But again, I'm going to go ahead and wipe it all off. All you need is a thin layer. You don't want too much. You don't want it to get all gummy. I can feel the warmth getting into the handle now. There we go. Okay. There it is. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that go for about, there's no more need for any more seasoning, so I'm going to put that all away. And I'm going to set this for about 4 minutes now. You want it to cook on there. You don't want to bake it for an hour because you'll strip it. You don't want to do that. So I'm going to let it go for about 4 minutes. And it should be smoking when it's done. And then you want to take your shop towels again and just smooth out any of the seasoning that's bubbled or moved on the pan. You want it to look as good as possible, at least I do. I will be back when the timer goes. Okay guys, I am back. The beeper is going off. And you can see, let me go ahead and show you the camera angle there. You can see it's smoke. It's hard to show that on camera, but I'm going to go ahead and wipe it on down. You can see that. You can see it. You can kind of see it above the skillet. So we're going to turn it off and just, give it a once over. Just make sure to smooth everything out so it looks pretty. I like my cast iron looking good. You can see it come off the skillet there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's just smoke. It's really smoking. That's when you take it off the heat. And that's when it starts to bake onto your skillet. So, all right, we're done. So all we have to do is just move it on another burner there. It'll cool off and it'll be ready for the next time. And I think I've kind of used those up, so I'm going to go ahead and rotate my shop vac towels here. And it's all ready for the next time. Okay, guys. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please leave a comment or question below. Please give it a thumb up, because the more thumbs up I get, the more this will come up as a suggested video to help others, such as yourselves, that want to learn to use cast iron with the best results possible. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and go make it a great day.